gentlemen, thanks again for joining us for the second game of this men's and women's doubleheader between the visiting Carleton Ravens and the hometown Queens Gaels. Tonight's game is set to be a great matchup. My name is Justin Berenice. I'll be calling all the action for you here tonight. Joined again in the broadcast booth by my good partner, Kyle Tomko. And we're in for quite a treat here tonight. The Carleton Ravens coming in this game with a record of 15-1, going up against the Queens Gaels, the upstart Queens Gaels, with a record of 10-6. A tremendous young team with a lot of young firepower and a lot of drive. What can we expect to see here in this game tonight?
Well, Justin, we mentioned the Carleton Ravens and their 15-1 mark. They've actually won 15 straight games after losing their opening night contest on the road against a very tough Windsor Lancers team. But they have come back with a vengeance, ripped off 15 straight wins, as we mentioned, and they've got multiple Player of the Year candidates on their roster, including Tyson Hins and the Phil and Thomas Scrub brothers from British Columbia, who really made a name for themselves here in OUA men's basketball and CIS basketball for that matter.
Absolutely. I think what we really need to talk about here is the tremendous feat of reeling off 15 straight wins in the ever-competitive OUA East division. Arguably the much stronger, much more difficult division between the OUA East and the OUA West. The OUA East boasting teams like the Queens Gaels with a record of 10-6, the Carleton Ravens with a record of 15-1. Obviously the Ottawa GGs who we'll see in action here tomorrow night against the Queens Gaels, and other teams such as Ryerson and Laurentian, all great teams who have had and put together so far tremendous seasons. A very competitive division. We're in for a treat here tonight with a very competitive game between the, like we said, the gritty upstart Gaels and the perennial powerhouse Carleton Ravens. Winning the tip there was the Gaels. Supreet Singh coming away with the ball for the Gaels, as they're moving the ball around quickly here to begin the game. And that's Singh finding Mislincevic in the corner, driving to his left, spin move, shots up, gets that one to fall with a sweet touch. And the Gaels are the first ones on the board here tonight, as they score just 30 seconds into this game. And here we are. We have our first look at Philip Scrub and Tyson Hines, as Scrub finds Hines in the corner for three. A great shooting stroke on both Hines and Scrub, as Scrub last year, heading into the final 4 games of the season, was shooting just over 50% from the three-point line, something that we very rarely see here in the OUA.
First personal foul.
Yeah, and Justin, one thing that we have to mention for the Gaels in this game is they're without Greg Faulkner, who's in street clothes for this game. He sustained a concussion in his last outing, and he's going to be a huge absence for the Gaels here, and I think Carleton understands that and will take advantage of it.
Absolutely, and there we have it. The first three-point shot from Philip Scrub is up and it's good, hitting absolutely nothing but the bottom of the net. A great stroke from Philip Scrub. And as you mentioned, Greg Faulkner, Kyle, a tremendous loss for the Gaels, as he's leading the team in scoring with 19.9 points per game, also leading the team in rebounding with 8.2 points per game. And a lot of the other Gaels on this roster are going to have to step up and rally around each other to fill that void that has been left by the absence of Greg Faulkner, as we mentioned.
Yeah, and you see Philip Scrub hitting his first three there. I feel like that's something we're going to be saying quite often here today, Justin. Scrub shooting a ridiculous 49% from beyond the arc this season.
Absolutely. As we mentioned, that's something he's been able to do his entire career here at Carleton. Last year, shooting 50% well into the final 4 games of the season. Something that is almost unheard of. And here's Cy Samuels with a heady tip, getting just behind Philip Scrub, as he didn't know Cy was coming up behind him. And here we have it, Carleton moving the ball around now. Scrub looking to drive, step back shot, off the mark. Mislincevic fighting for the board. And he wins that battle as the ball's knocked away out of bounds by Kyle Smenzek. Gaels possession. Here's Samuels with the ball, being defended by Scrub. Double team coming, and we've got a foul called. Charge to the Ravens, number 5, Springer Williams. That's his first foul of the game, and that is their first team foul of the evening. Samuel seems to be limping a little bit after that last play. Heel inbound here for the Gaels. Getting the ball over to Sukhpreet Singh. First-year starter who's having a tremendous season for the Gaels. As he's their second leading scorer, averaging 12.6 points per game. Ravens coming away with that last possession. Here's Asefa with the rebound, pushing the ball for the Gaels. Samuels looking to find Singh in the corner. As his pass is intercepted. Singh getting it right back, finding Samuels. Going up strong. And he gets called, the Ravens rather. That's Kyle Smenzik getting called for the foul.
That was a great heads-up play under the basket there from Sukhpreet Singh as he was able to anticipate the save ball there from the Ravens, and instead of going up and having a contested shot, he held onto it, and he found
Smenzik getting lucky on that one. Had he missed the ball, I'm sure Cy Samuels would have thrown that one down right on top of him. Would have been a monster play, getting the crowd behind this upstart Gaels team as they trail just 2 points to 6 here in the early going with 7 minutes and 32 seconds left to play here in the first quarter. Samuels burying the second free throw from the line for the Gaels. We've got a sub coming in at the table.
Number 4, Roshane Roberts.
Coming into the game, we're going to get our first look at Roshane Roberts, the other first-year guard for the Gaels, who's having a tremendous rookie season. As he replaces Cy Samuels, who will take a quick breather after a quick 2 minutes and 30 seconds of hard work for the Gaels. And that ball's thrown away by the Ravens. Possession's going to go to the Queens Gaels. Head coach Dave Smart of the Carleton Ravens seemed to be a bit unpleased with that one, as he thought the Gaels may have had their fingers on that ball last. Here's Sukhpreet Singh finding Roberts in the corner, moving it over to Lenz. Singh to Roberts once again. Asefa in the corner for 3. Finding the front iron. The Ravens come away with the rebound. And here's Springer Williams with the ball. Finding Scrub. Scrub defended by Asefa. Screen coming by Tyson Hins. Scrub inside to Hins, looking to go to work against John Lenz. And the kick out to Springer Williams is good for 3.
Springer Williams getting an non-contested look there, and he drains it for 3.
And Roshane Roberts coming down with a short mid-range jumper on the other end. Can't get that one to fall, hitting the front iron. Pace of this game so far, Kyle, very fast in the early going. Carleton not using many subs so far here in the early going. And there we have it once again. That's Philip Scrub burying the three-pointer. Gaels having subbed in quite a few players already. Looking to keep the legs fresh as they know this pace is going to continue all game. And that was Sukhpreet Singh missing the short mid-range jumper there.
And the Gaels not getting into an offensive rhythm quite yet here in the early going of the first quarter. Ravens taking advantage.
That's right, Kyle. A couple missed shots by the Gaels early on, and a couple made three-pointers by Philip Scrub. Seems to be the difference so far here in this game. We've got a foul called on the floor. And that foul is going to be charged to the Gaels, number 14, Raul Stroud. That's going to be his first foul of the evening. Second team foul of the quarter. Possession's going to go to the Carleton Ravens on the end line here. And Springer Williams will take his seat for the Ravens as number 13, Kewan Blaine, checks into the game. And here's Scrub with another three-point shot. And that one just rattles out. Simpson saving that ball with a tremendous effort there, getting the ball into Bernard Burgesson. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Ball moves over to Mark Paclabar for the Gaels. Finding Mackenzie Simpson in the corner, driving the baseline. Paclabar going hard to his left. Bit of contact there, no call on the play. Here's Scrub. Over to Blaine, inside to Hins. We've got a foul called on the floor. Kyle, we mentioned him just there in that last possession there. Bernard Burgesson for the Gaels. Hasn't played yet this year. A former team captain of the Gaels. What does he bring to this team now? Now that he's back on the Gaels roster?
Well, I think Burgesson, as we said, is a veteran player, which the Gaels don't have a lot of, and they've got a lot of youth and they've got a lot of energy, but they don't have a lot of older guys. They do have Mackenzie Simpson, they do have Faulkner, and as we mentioned, who isn't in this game, but he brings a veteran presence back to a team who has suffered through the tough parts of the Gaels program and on the upswing here, and hopefully rejoining some success here at Queens.
Absolutely, and he'll be a player to watch here in this game, as his size is going to be needed to contend with the likes of some of the post players of the Carleton Ravens, including number 42 Tyson Hins and obviously number 15 Kyle Smenza, both tremendous athletes. And here we have it, Roshane Roberts now with the ball for the Gaels. Over to Burgesson, looking to run the offense. Burgesson shots up, and that one's blocked by Penner for the Ravens. Going the other way, here's Blaine. Can't get that shot to fall. It's a tremendous defensive effort by the Gaels. Mark Baclabar coming the other way. Using the screen for Bernard Burgesson, finding John Lenz under the basket with a nice pass. Unfortunately, that one's pulled away by Phil Scrubb. He finds his brother driving to the lane. That's Thomas Scrubb getting fouled on his way up with the left hand. He's going to head to the line for a couple free throw shots here in the early going. Subbing back into the game for the Gaels, number 23, James Asefa. Number 9, Nick Mislincevic, as Mackenzie Simpson and John Lenz take a quick breather for the Gaels. As we mentioned earlier, Scrubb at the line here for the Ravens. And he, like his brother, a tremendous shooter from the free throw line as well as beyond the arc. Philip Scrubb averaging 19.4 points per game, leading the Carleton Ravens. And in a close third is Thomas Scrubb with 11.1 points per game for the Ravens. Baclabar with the ball now for the Gaels. Here's Mislincevic driving to his left, spinning off of Dan Penner, finding Roshane Roberts, three-point shot's up, and he gets it to fall. First Gaels basket in the last 2 minutes here.
Yeah, that's one they definitely needed there, Justin.
Absolutely, and Roshane Roberts, a tremendous shooter in his own right, just finding his stroke here in this game. We've got Mark Baclabar fighting for a loose ball here on the ground. And we see a foul called on the loose ball play. That one's going to be charged against the Carleton Ravens there. And the Gaels are going to have possession on the end line here. Roshane Roberts bringing up the ball for the Gaels. Defended by Blaine. Cy Samuels has that ball stripped away quickly. And he locks up Blaine for a quick jump ball call. 2 minutes 50 seconds left. 2 minutes 49 seconds left rather. Here in the first quarter. Gaels trailing the Carleton Ravens by a score of 6-13. Gaels unable to capitalize on a couple of mid-range jump shot opportunities here, just making the difference so far in the early going. To the line for the Ravens right now, we have, that's number 13, Kewan Blaine. He can't get that shot to fall. Blaine rattles the second free throw home, and checking back into the game for the Carleton Ravens, it's number 23, Philip Scrubb, as well as number 41, Kevin Churchill. So the Ravens maintaining their size on the floor with both Scrubb brothers and Churchill, as well as Dan Penner, all standing above 6'5". A very tall lineup by OUA standards. And here's Roshane Roberts in the corner for three. Rebounded by Cy Samuels. Kick out back to Sukhpreet Singh. Shots up, mid-range jumper. And Singh gets that one to fall. Bit of a home court bounce there for Singh as he gets it to rattle home.
Nice ball fake there from Singh. It's Good ball fake there from Singh, who's able to generate another offensive opportunity there. Momentum swinging maybe towards the Gaels here. It's Carleton charge for an offensive foul.
Absolutely, and a great offensive foul. Take by Nick Mislincevic, throwing his body on the line, trying to get momentum going the other way for the Gaels here in the early going as they trail by just 6 to this ever-competitive Carleton Ravens squad. That's Roshane Roberts getting trapped by the Ravens defense here. And that ball gets tipped away by Dan Penner as the entry pass going into Nick Mislincevic there. Didn't quite make it to him. Here's Singh with the ball for the Gaels, coming off the screen by Ryle Stroud. Roshane Roberts with a nifty little move there, burying the mid-range jumper. And he is hot here in the early going, ladies and gentlemen. Gaels trail by just 4. Here's Nick Mislincevic defending Dan Penner at the top of the key. Switching on that screen is Roberts and Nick Mislincevic. And that's Roberts getting out-jumped for the ball by Dan Penner. A bit of a mismatch here in the post. Result of that screen at the top of the key earlier. Phil Scrub being defended by Nick Mislincevic. He finds Dan Penner. Ball goes over to Churchill, and he can't get that one to fall as Mislincevic had his hand in his face. Roshane Roberts wheeling and dealing, finding Samuels in the corner there. And he wisely kicks that ball out to Singh, looking to set up the offense. 7 seconds left on the shot clock. Singh driving against Tom Scrub. Shot off the mark. We've got a foul called against the Gaels under the basket. That one's gonna be charged to Cy Samuels. Went over the back ball on that rebound. Looking to get a little aggressive there.
And that'll send the Ravens to the line there with a 5-foul bonus.
And that is Samuels' 3rd foul of the game.
Into the game for Queens, number 6, Mackenzie Simpson.
Checking back into the game for Cy Samuels, number 6, Mackenzie Simpson. At the line right now for the Ravens is number 10, Connor Wood. Phil Scrub's going to take a seat for the Ravens as Kewan Blaine checks back in. Last shot for the Gaels just off the mark. Tom Scrub finding Connor Wood, driving the baseline. Haynes kicking it out to Scrub for 3. Gets that one to fall. Like we said, Tom Scrub and Phil Scrub both very adept at shooting the 3-point shot. As we mentioned earlier, Philip Scrub shooting 49% from behind the arc so far this season. Here's Roberts defending against Blaine. Got a foul called on the floor before the shot.
Foul called on Queens, number 4, Roshane Roberts.
That one charged to the Gaels, number 4, Roshane Roberts, his 1st foul of this game. Blaine makes them pay for that foul call as he knocks down both shots from the charity stripe for the Ravens. And here's Singh with the ball for the Gaels as he and Roshane Roberts are handling the majority of the ball carrying responsibilities for the Gaels here this season.
And they're getting Ryle Stroud there and another foul for Queens. Turnover for the Gaels.
And the Gaels maybe a little excited here in the early going of this game. Active hands getting a couple quick foul calls as they've been in the penalty for the majority of this quarter. And that's Mackenzie Simpson coming up with a huge block
Into the first quarter.
against Kevin Churchill.
By a score of 21-10. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Queens
The
Gaels
score
team.
at the end of the first quarter of play, Queens Gaels trailing Carleton Ravens 10-21. And you have to imagine that head coach of the Carleton Ravens, Dave Smart, is very happy with his Carleton Ravens team right now. Looking over at their bench right now, you can see that he's very animated talking to his team. Disappointed in some of the defensive rotations, clearly, that his team has had against the tremendous firepower, offensive firepower that is, of this young Gaels team. They've had some difficulty closing out against Roshane Roberts as he's been able to hit a three-point shot as well as a couple mid-range jumpers and get into the lane. Ravens clearly struggling against the drive as Sukhpreet Singh and Roshane Roberts have been knifing their way into the lane consistently all quarter long. Now taking a quick look over at the Gaels bench, you can see that head coach Stephen Barry fairly calm and composed, looking quite pleased with the effort that he's getting from his young players here in this game. Stephen Barry just telling his team to remain composed as they have been, and the shots will begin to fall as they've been missing quite a few mid-range jumpers here to begin the first half of play. And that may be as a result of playing the number one ranked team in the country, the Carleton Ravens, with a record of 15-1, as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast. This young Gaels team looking to prove themselves, hoping to get a big win here against the Carleton Ravens. A win here would mean a number of things for this young Gaels team. It would be a trademark win for this season, as looking back on it, this might be the stamp on the season, justifying all the hard work that they have done put in the off season. And here we are back at it. Philip Scrub with the ball now for the Carleton Ravens. Three-point shot is up. Ambitious shot. That one's off the mark, as that was a well-defended shot by the Gaels. And here's Roshane Roberts going the other way, running the quick pick with Mackenzie Simpson and Nick Mislincevic, driving his way into the lane with the left hand. Roberts again with the ball, coming off the double screen. Drawing the contact from Dan Penner and Connor Wood from the Ravens. And he gets the shot off and gets the foul call. And that one's going to be charged to the Ravens, number 10, Connor Wood, his first personal foul of the game. First team foul of the quarter. And Roberts is going to head to the line for two more free throw shots here. 9 minutes, 29 seconds to play here in the second quarter. Gaels trailing by a score of 11-21 here. Head coach Stephen Barry pacing up and down the sidelines. Happy but not pleased with the performance of his Gaels thus far. Not quite satisfied, as he knows that this young Gaels team with their offensive firepower can definitely squeak out a win here against the visiting Carleton Ravens. And as I mentioned that, there's Tyson Hins, number 42 for the Carleton Ravens, knocking down his second triple of the evening. Simpson with the ball in the corner, three-point shot is up and it's good. He gets that one to fall over the outstretched hands of Jean-Emmanuel Pierre Charles for the Ravens, as Pierre Charles seeing his first action of the evening here. And a quick response coming down on the other end by the Carleton Ravens. That's Tyson Hins being found on the entry pass as he turns, and he's fouled by John Lenz, and he gets the basket to go. Hins will head to the line for another free throw shot.
Count the basket. Tyson Hins at the line, shooting one.
Hins a tremendous free throw shooter. Unfortunately, he doesn't get that one to fall. And the possession arrow, or rather the possession, will go to the Gaels, as that one's tipped out of bounds by the Carleton Ravens. Mark Baclabar with the ball now for the Gaels. Mislincevic trying to find Simpson down low. Ball moves over to Roshane Roberts. John Lenz going to the ground to save that one for the Gaels. And that pass wasn't handled well by Mark Paclabar. Bit of a poor pass from Mackenzie Simpson, and the Gaels are charged with a 24-second shot clock violation. Possession over to the Ravens. Phil Scrubb looking to expand this 11-point lead for the Ravens as he brings up the ball for the Ravens. No-look pass into the corner. And Springer Williams buries that three-pointer. Here's Roshane Roberts wheeling and dealing his way into the lane, finding Mackenzie Simpson. Back-to-back three-point attempts for Mackenzie Simpson. Fortunately, could not get that shot to fall. And it appears as though both teams are really pressing right now. The Ravens pressing to break away and open up a larger lead in this game. Try and make a statement of these Gaels before the end of the first half. And the Gaels obviously trying to do the same, trying to respond and close the gap, make a close game of it for the second half. And that's Hins underneath the basket, going up strong, getting the foul call. Drawing the contact against the Gaels using the pump fake. Here he is back at the line. And that's Hins rattling the second free throw home for the Ravens as they lead the Gaels here by 16 points with 7 minutes, 43 seconds to play here in the second quarter. Roberts inbound for the Gaels. Here he is, pressing the Ravens defense. Here's a Sefa at the top of the key for the Gaels. Getting the ball over to Mark Paclabar as he's driving. Tyson Hins comes away with that ball as Mark Paclabar couldn't handle it. And we've got a foul called on the play. Foul called on the floor. That one's going to be charged to the Gaels, number 22, Mark Paclabar. That's his second personal foul of the game. Fourth team foul of the quarter. One foul away from the penalty. And that's Philip Scrubb with an ambitious pass, looking for Tyson Hines on the seal out in the paint. And that one just out of the outstretched reach of Tyson Hins rather. And the Gaels will retake possession here. Ball knocked away by the Ravens out of bounds. Possession will remain with the Gaels. And head coach Stephen Barry of the Gaels calling a quick timeout as he's looking maybe to get his team slightly more composed and make a good push here in the second quarter, closing that 16-point gap to something more manageable, maybe 5, 6 points, something that they can really manage and look to close in the second half of play here. The Gaels so far this season have been a tremendous second half team, putting up great fourth quarter point scoring efforts in many of their last games, particularly the Laurentian and York, as they absolutely dominated in the second half, scoring well over 25 points in the quarter. And so that's something we should look for the Gaels to continue to do here, as they're a second half team that plays very well when it comes down to it in crunch time, so to speak. Some of these statistics there from the first quarter of play The Gaels shooting a dismal 4 for 15 from the floor, while the Carleton Ravens shooting not much better at a 5 for 16 clip. However, the Ravens shooting 5 for 11 from beyond the arc, and the Gaels shooting only 1 for 6 from beyond the arc. The Ravens also doing a much better job so far here in this game of getting to the free throw line, as Kewan Blaine has made 2 trips to the free throw line, Connor Wood has made a trip, as well as Thomas Scrub. Here we are. James Asefa backing down. Dan Wood. And that's Roshane Roberts in the corner for 3. Here's Tom Scrub, defended by Roberts. Tom Scrub with a 6-inch height advantage on Roshane Roberts, and that's Jamie Asefa stepping in and taking the charge call. From number 13, Kewan Blaine. And that's something we've seen so far here in the first half of this game by the Gaels. Not afraid to step in front of the attacking Carleton Ravens and take a charge call, trying to curry favor in their direction here. Unfortunately, that last pass by Roberts is thrown out of bounds, and Supreet Singh couldn't corral it as it trickled out of bounds, and the Ravens will have possession here. Kewan Blaine with the ball now for the Ravens. Hins driving to the left. Can't get his layup to fall, and the Gaels are running the other way. Andrew Mabity now with the ball for the Gaels. Singh, pump fake. And that's Singh fouled on his way to the hoop. He's going to head to the line for 2 shots. A tremendous slasher and penetrator is Supreet Singh. Something he's been able to do so far here fairly effectively in this game. He's getting to the hole. He and Roshane Roberts both with incredible ball handling ability, allowing them to maneuver their way into the lane and really cause some problems for the Carleton Ravens defense here in the first 2 quarters of play. And Singh gets both shots from the charity stripe to fall, narrowing the Ravens lead to just 11 points. Scrub with the ball, moving it over to Hins at the top of the key. And that was Dan Penner's shot off the mark for the Ravens. Singh looking to kick the ball out to Andrew Mabity in the corner. And that one's intercepted by Phil Scrub. Finding Wood in the corner for 3, cannot get that shot to fall. But Dan Penner was there to pull in the rebound for the Ravens and put it back up.
Foul called on Queens number 6, Mackenzie Simpson.
And that foul is going to be charged to the Gaels, number 6, Mackenzie Simpson. As the Gaels on the court converse. Looking to strategize and really slow down the running of the Carleton Ravens here in the second quarter. As we said, Penner at the line for the Ravens. That ball nearly stolen away by the Ravens as Supreet Singh comes away with it. Supreet Singh, open look from the top of the key, and Jamie Asefa's there with the follow-up.
Jamie Asefa tips in the rebound.
Tipping that one in with the left hand. Tremendous effort by James Asefa, out-jumping the Carleton Ravens for that rebound. That's Tyson Hins coming back and answering the 3-pointer of his own. Mabity with the ball now for the Gaels. As the Gaels are trying to get into their offensive set here. Singh coming off the screen from Lenz, driving in, Supreet Singh. See if he can get this mid-range jumper to fall. Unfortunately not. Singh going a little cold here in the second quarter. But a good defensive effort using his length to close out on Phil Scrub there. Hines finding Wood in the corner. Wood missing his last three from that shot, buries that one. And here's Mavity with the ball for the Gaels. Singh on the drive, looking to kick it out to Max Simpson. Mavity in the corner for three. And he buries it. Andrew Mavity.
From downtown.
Tremendous shooter is Andrew Mavity in his own right. First year player out of Vancouver, British Columbia. And the hot shooting of the Carleton Ravens continues as Connor Wood buries that three-pointer from the very top of the key. And here's Singh eyeing down the Ravens defense. Getting into the offensive set. A deep three-point opportunity from Mackenzie Simpson there, and that one hits the front iron. One step in, and that one would have fallen, no doubt. Lenz on the rebound. Mackenzie Simpson, another three-point opportunity. Fighting through a lot of contact on the play, but there's no call from the refs. Bruce Coover, Jeff Besselink and John Bates, the officials for tonight's game, deciding that there should be no call on that three-point effort by Mackenzie Simpson.
Welcome back to the dance team.
And as I mentioned, Bruce Coover, Jeff Besselink, and John Bates, one of the finer crews on the OUA circuit in terms of officiating, here for this matchup between the Carleton Ravens and the Queens Gaels. The Gaels trailing the Carleton Ravens 25-44 here with 3 minutes and 17 seconds left in the second quarter. And Dave Smart, as usual, very animated during his timeout. Always looking to ignite that spark beneath his team and get his team to pull away by even more, as he knows that this Gaels team can come back at any moment. Timeout warnings being blown already. Teams being warned to break the huddle here as Stephen Barry continues to talk to the troops. Try and get the Gaels going. To inbound for the Gaels, number 12, Andrew Mavity. Ball is inbounded to Roshane Roberts as the Carleton Ravens are coming out in a light man-to-man full court press, it appears. Roshane Roberts bringing the ball up against Thomas Scrub without a problem there. Gaels with a couple capable ball handlers on the court right now. Roshane Roberts, Andrew Mavity, and Mark Paclabar as James Asefa finds Bernard Burgesson in the paint for the lay-in. Nifty little pass from James Asefa there. And this is Roberts defending against Philip Scrub. Scrub finding his brother Thomas in the corner for three. And he puts that one up and in over the outstretched hands of Mark Paclabar. Height advantage there of over 6 inches. up to the block there. Ravens lead. There will remain 1.7 seconds left on the game clock. Possession will remain with the Gaels on the end line. Inbounding is Andrew Mavney, looking inside for Bernard Burgesson, finding Mark Packelbar. He throws up a prayer, and that one hits the top of the backboard.
At halftime,
And that will end
Carleton leads by a score of
the first half of
53 to
play
27.
for the Queens Gaels as they trail the visiting Carleton Ravens
Please welcome back
53
the
to
dance
27.
team.
Ladies and gentlemen, stick around for the second half of play in 15 minutes as we step away from the halftime break. Nearly falling over, finding John Lenz underneath the basket. And John Lenz's shot tipped away by Tom Scrubb, using his tremendous reach to get his hand on that ball. And Cy Samuels on the other end of the court, getting the block on that's Kewen Blaine, on Kewen Blaine's shot. Unfortunately, a bit of body contact there, and Cy Samuels called for the foul. That's his 4th foul of the game. He had 3 quick fouls early in the first quarter. No, correction, early in the first half, and had to sit for the majority of the second quarter. And with 4 fouls now, he's taking a seat on the bench, and he will likely sit for the rest of this 3rd period and well into the 4th quarter, as 1 more foul would put him over the limit for the game, and he'll be forced to sit for the rest of the game. Kewen Blaine at the line there for the Carleton Ravens, burying those free throw opportunities. Mark Paclabar wisely not crossing half court as the Carleton Ravens defensive trap was waiting for him. And here's Roshane Roberts driving to the left, kicking the ball out for Bernard Burgesson, rather. A bit of a tie-up on the floor. Burgesson and Blaine, as Blaine was all over Burgesson there. We've got a jump ball called on the floor as both players making honest efforts to get possession of that ball. As we mentioned earlier, this is a very tough, gritty game between the Queens Gaels and the visiting Carleton Ravens. Both teams play with a lot of intensity and passion. And both teams very physical in the ever-competitive OUA East Division. That last possession there, Gaels were unable to get a shot off as the 24-second shot clock ran to its end, and they were called for the violation. And here's Hins under the basket against Burgesson. Hins unable to get through the arm of Bernard Burgesson as he's called for the foul. And as I mentioned earlier, Hins doing it all for the Ravens here in the early goings of the second half, with a couple of rebounds, a couple of loose balls, and obviously a couple of trips to the free throw line for the Ravens. The Ravens coming out in a full court press, man-to-man, led by Kewen Blaine and Thomas Scrubb, defending Roshane Roberts and Mark Paclabar. As Paclabar getting into the offensive set for the Gaels, finds Roshane Roberts from beyond the arc for the 3, and that one's off the mark. Tom Scrubb leading the charge, going the other way for the Ravens, finding Wood in the corner for 3, and he hits the front iron on that shot attempt. Penner finding Scrubb in the corner for 3, off the mark, and Burgesson comes away with that rebound, out jumping the Ravens defenders. Paclabar's up and under move doesn't fall there, and Tom Scrubb, ambitious effort there, didn't get up quite far enough to throw that one down, but Hines, as he has been all game, has been in the post rebounding, and he cleaned up that miss off the glass, laid it back in for the Carleton Ravens. Checking into the game now for the Ravens, number 33, Justin Shaver, and into the game for the Gaels, number 14, Ryle Stroud, and number 12, Andrew Mavity, as Mavity has his pass stolen away by Kewen Blaine. Andrew Mavity with it now for the Gaels, moving it over to Mislincevic as he's backing down Justin Shaver. Good rotation by the Gaels, finding Mackenzie Simpson in the corner. Mislincevic hauling in that rebound, and he gets hacked by Justin Shaver just beneath the basket there.
third team foul of the quarter for the Carleton Ravens. Mavety with the ball now for the Gaels, driving to his left. And here's Simpson weaving his way into the paint, and he has his pass intercepted and stolen away. Here's Penner looking to go to work against the much smaller Andrew Mavety. Gaels caught in a late rotation as Andrew Mavety was forced to defend down low against Dan Penner, and the man he was defending, Kewen Blaine, was found open at the top of the key for that three-point effort. On the other end of the court, Kewen Blaine trying to step in for a charge call, but finds himself too far underneath the basket, and he gets called for the block as Ryle Stroud was going up for the shot, and he'll head to the line for 2 free throws. Substitution into the game for the Gaels, number 11 Patrick Street taking out Andrew Mavety. As Mavety served for a good 4 minutes of play there, admirably, handling some of the ball handling duties for the Gaels. And here's Churchill looking to back down Ryle Stroud. Gavin Resch has the ball knocked out of his hands by Supreet Singh. And that's a turnover for Gavin Resch, seeing his first action of the game here tonight. Supreet Singh, defended by Tom Scrub. Finding the open James Asefa in the corner. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Patrick Street can't get his shot cleanly off. Here's Dan Penner with the ball now for the Ravens, looking to drive the baseline, going inside to Kevin Churchill. But the Gaels with some active defensive hands, knocking that one out of Churchill's grasp. And Supreet Singh leading the fast break for the other way, going the other way for the Gaels. Fending off the contact from Tom Scrub, Singh gets that basket to fall. And head coach Dave Smart calling over Gavin Resch. Conference with him on the sideline. Unhappy with the effort that the second-year guard out of Ottawa, Ontario, had been giving. Back into the game for the Ravens, number 13, Kewen Blaine, as Tom Scrub heads to the bench for the Ravens, taking a quick breather. We'll undoubtedly see him re-enter the game, if not later in the third quarter, then definitely in the fourth quarter. And that's Dan Penner cleaning up the rebound off of the Ravens' miss and laying it in with the right hand underneath the hoop. Singh finds Patrick Street in the corner. And Kewen Blaine gets his hands tied up with Supreet Singh. He'll get charged with the foul. Both teams in the penalty here in the third quarter, eclipsing the 5 penalty mark. Every foul from here on will put both teams at the free throw line. A tremendous free throw shooter is Supreet Singh. Knocks both of those attempts down from the free throw line. And here's Churchill looking to back down Nick Mislincevic. Two of the bigger bodies in this game going at it down low. And Mislincevic winning that battle. as Kevin Churchill called for the traveling violation on that play. Patrick Street from downtown, and he nails that shot.
Bring it up from downtown.
Patrick Street, a very adept three-point shooter. Someone the Carleton Ravens will need to account for on the perimeter, as he can knock down shots from well beyond the three-point line. Singh now with the ball for the Gaels. Trying to drive his way into the lane. He has the ball stripped away from him by Kewan Blaine. Gavin Rush with the ball now for the Ravens. Putting it inside to Kevin Churchill, as once again he looks to battle Nick Mislincevic in the post. And Mislincevic, the great block out there on Kevin Churchill, has that one. Goes off the outstretched fingertips of the Carleton Ravens and out of bounds. Possession will go to the Gaels. And with the lead in this game opening up to above 30 points, keep an eye, ladies and gentlemen, on the animosity between both of these teams, as the Gaels clearly a little frustrated with their play so far here in this game. And as we noticed, Tom Scrubb looking to take a couple of liberties as he looked to throw down a dunk on the Gaels earlier in this game. That might not sit well with the Gaels. So let's keep an eye on that situation as we look to close out the third quarter of play. 33 seconds left on the clock. Phil Scrubb with the ball. Moving it over to Springer Williams. That shot off the mark. And we've got a foul on the floor. That foul charge to the Ravens, number 5, Springer Williams, sending Bernard Burgesson to the line for the Gaels. As we mentioned earlier, both teams in the penalty for this quarter, so Burgesson will head to the line for 2 shots. As we sit here with 25 seconds left on the game clock. Burgesson making the Ravens pay for fouling him on the other end of the court as he hits both free throws. Here is Scrubb with the ball being defended by Samuels. Samuels has to be careful here with 12 seconds left in the quarter as he's already got 4 fouls in this game. Hinn's three-point shot is up and well off the mark. But Springer Williams is there to corral that rebound and put it in off the glass for the Ravens.
At the end of the third quarter, Carleton leads by a score of 74.
As the Ravens at the end of the third quarter lead the Queens Gaels by a score of 74-41, a 33-point lead for the Ravens. A respectable effort thus far in this game by the Queens Gaels, going up against the ever difficult team to play in the Carleton Ravens. But as we mentioned earlier, the number 1 team in the country, in the CIS at this moment, the Carleton Ravens. At this point right now for the Gaels, you have to imagine that they're looking to possibly cut into a bit of this lead here in this game, but at the same time save their legs for the game against the Ottawa GGs tomorrow, as that game looks and appears to be a much more winnable game for the Gaels, and one that would be absolutely tremendous for this Gaels coaching staff to win, as it would put them in great position heading into the playoffs as they look to secure that 4th playoff spot in the OUA East. And the Gaels at this point, I'm sure Stephen Barry talking to his team. Maybe looking to get them to run a couple of plays that they're very comfortable with, get them into a comfortable offensive set, so that going into tomorrow's game, they can come out with a lot of confidence, knowing that they ended this game on a high note and with a lot of momentum that they'd wish to carry into the first half of tomorrow's game against the Ottawa GGs here in Kingston. To begin the fourth quarter of play, the Ravens will be inbounding the ball from the sidelines as the Gaels, as we mentioned earlier, trail by 33 heading into this final quarter of play. Kewen Blaine finding Justin Shaver. Ball moving over to Dan Penner, and he gets a shot off, but it doesn't fall. Shaver's there, rebounding. Tremendous offensive rebounding effort by the Carleton Ravens on that last possession, as Springer Williams, Justin Shaver, and Dan Penner all came down with consecutive offensive rebounds. And there's Patrick Street in the corner for the Gaels, trying to knock down a three. And here's Street defending against Gavin Resch. As you mentioned, the second-year player out of Ottawa. And some excellent post passing from Dan Penner to Justin Shaver, as Penner finds Justin Shaver cutting on the back door, heading to the hoop for 2 points. Roberts coming off a screen, burying that jumper. Resch with the ball, moving it over to Kewen Blaine, spinning. We've got a foul called. Someone's going to be charged against the Gaels as Dan Penner put up that shot. He'll head to the free throw line for 2 shots from the charity stripe. And that foul is going to be charged against the Gaels, number 14, Ryle Stroud. And head coach of the Gaels, Stephen Barry, sending John Lenz, his second-year postman from Toronto, Ontario, back into the game. Maybe to alleviate some of the pressure on players like Cy Samuels and Bernard Burgesson on the offensive glass, as we just saw in one of the last possessions a few exchanges ago. The Ravens doing a great job on the glass, dominating their rebounding percentage so far here in this game. There's Dan Penner at the line for the Ravens. What must be positive to see for Coach Stephen Barry at this moment, though, is that his young team has not given up here. Down by 37 points, they're still fighting. These Gaels looking to drive and penetrate the very stingy Carleton Ravens defense. This player is showing a lot of effort and hustle here, as Cy Samuels gets his hand on that ball, knocking it out of bounds. As you notice there, a bit of a tie-up down low between John Lenz and Kyle Smenzuk in the post. Both wearing the number 15, battling it out down low in the post, and John Lenz called for the foul there in that exchange. As we mentioned earlier, though, it's just a testament to the hard, gritty effort of the Queens Gaels so far. John Lenz, young player, not giving up on this game, although at this point it may be out of reach, as the Gaels continue to trail by 37 here. Cy Samuels, mid-range jumper's up, and it's good. Knocking that one down over the outstretched arms of the Ravens defense. And here's Blaine Kewen getting the ball over to Wood on the perimeter. Gavin Rush driving across the lane, finding Wood in the corner. His shot's off the mark. And Wood following up that miss and laying it in. Lots of contact there on that shot. No foul called. Quick change of possession there off the Gaels miss. Gavin Rush driving to the hole. Pass intended for Kyle Smenzuk, knocked out of bounds by the Gaels. Bernard Burgesson. Re-entering the game for the Ravens, number 33, Justin Shaver. And for the Gaels, number 9, Nick Mislincevic. And number 6, Mackenzie Simpson. Here's Lenz defending Smenzuk on the perimeter. Shaver finding Kewen coming off a screen down low. And Kewen can't get that shot to fall. Andrew Mavity, three-point shot is up for the Gaels, also just off the mark. Both teams finding a bit of a slump here in terms of shooting, especially the three-point shot to begin the fourth quarter of play, and we've got a foul called on the floor. That one's going to be charged to the Ravens, number 15, Kyle Smenzuk. This possession will now go to the Gaels, Andrew Mavity inbounding. Mackenzie Simpson trying to penetrate, finding Nick Mislincevic, driving to his left. Kick out to Sukhpreet Singh, but a little eager there, and a traveling violation called against him. Things having slowed down quite a bit here in the fourth quarter, as both teams seem to be content to set up their half-court offenses and settle for three-point jump shots thus far. The pace that we saw earlier in this game, both teams running frantically, is no longer evident as we see Gavin Rush knock down a three-pointer from well beyond the arc for the Carleton Ravens. As you can see, Sukhpreet Singh getting into the half-court offense, something that the Gaels have struggled with this season, something which we saw against the Laurentian Voyageurs. As their pace slowed, so too did their scoring in that game. Keep an eye on that as we play out the final 5 minutes and 22 seconds of this game here at the Athletics and Recreation Center in Kingston, Ontario at Queen's University.
Into the game for Queens, number 22, Mark Paclabar.
Re-entering the game for Queens is Mark Paclabar, first-year guard out of Vaughan, Ontario. And here's Nick Mislincevic coming off the Mark Paclabar screen, putting up the jump shot and burying it. Here's Mackenzie Simpson defending Pierre Charles. Pierre Charles picking up his dribble, forced to pass it into the corner to Gavin Rush. And some quick hands by Mark Baclabar, knocking that one off of Gavin Resch's knee and out of bounds. Or rather, his own knee and out of bounds. Ball comes out to Kevin Churchill. He puts up a shot late in the shot clock, and he misses the rim on that attempt. 24-second shot clock violation charge to the Ravens. The pace slowing down quite a bit here in the fourth quarter. As we mentioned earlier, both teams fairly tired after the pace that they were maintaining in the first half. And that was Mackenzie Simpson in the post. Called for the offensive foul, pushing off a little too much as he was trying to back down in the post. Gavin Resch being defended by Mark Baclabar, and he comes away with the steal. Trying to go coast to coast is Mark Baclabar, and he's fouled on his way to the hoop. A tremendous individual effort by Mark Baclabar. Mark Baclabar at the line for the Gaels now as we see a couple substitutions come into the game just off your screen. That's number 11, Patrick Street, re-entering the game, as well as number 14, Ryle Stroud. Here's Gavin Resch with the ball for the Ravens. Churchill with the ball now. Looking to work a post move against Nick Mislincevic, and he gets that spinning hook shot to fall. Something we're seeing now. Clearly evident is the fact that head coach of the Ravens, Dave Smart, resting some of his starters, including number 15, Kyle Smenzik, number 42, Tyson Hins, both Scrub brothers, number 11, Tom Scrub, and number 23, Phil Scrub, as well as number 5, Springer Williams, and number 13, Kewan Blaine. Undoubtedly trying to rest them, trying not to overwork them, as in the OUA East it is a very long season, and you don't want to put any of your star players at risk of unnecessary injury heading into the playoffs with only 4 games left to play on the regular season schedule. And here's Patrick Street coming off a screen, putting up the three-point shot. Fortunately, we've got a moving screen called against Ryle Stroud.
Into the game for the Gaels, number 8, Bernard Burgesson.
Just waiting for a correct substitution from the table there. Re-entering the game is number 8, Bernard Burgesson for the Gaels. As we sit here with 3 minutes and 8 seconds left to play in this OUA basketball men's contest between the visiting Carleton Ravens and the Queens Gaels. Gavin Resch going to work against Mark Baclabar. Switch called, mismatch is found as Shaver finds Churchill under the basket for the left-handed spin and lay-in. And Mark Baclabar coming the other way, trying to answer back quickly for the Gaels. Patrick Street looking to find Bernard Burgesson in the post there, as that one's kicked away by the Ravens defense. Andrew Mavity inbounding for the Gaels on the end line. And as Mark Baclabar comes off the Burgesson screen, got a foul called against the Ravens, number 10, Connor Wood. Packelbar with it now for the Gaels. And away from the ball, just in the corner of your screen there, Bernard Burgesson charged with the blocking foul. That is Bernard's 4th foul of the game. With 2 minutes and 33 seconds left to play here in the 4th quarter, I don't think Coach Stephen Barry is worried about Bernard Burgesson being fouled out at this point. Worried more so about his team coming out of this game with a little bit of confidence heading into tomorrow's matchup with the Ottawa GGs, as I mentioned earlier. A game that this Gaels squad believes that they can win. And with a better offensive output tomorrow, a game that they surely can win. Patrick Street with a deep 3, finding the front iron on that one. And as Kevin Churchill goes to work in the post on the other end of the court, he's fouled by James Asefa. Fairly aggressive foul by James Asefa there.
Kevin Churchill.
Maybe revealing a little bit of the frustration that the Gaels are feeling right now after having been down for the majority of this game to the Carleton Ravens. The Gaels did come out, however, with a lot of poise, a lot of composure, and a lot of energy. However, their shots early in the first quarter did not fall, and the Ravens were able to open up a bit of a lead that became insurmountable in the second half of play. There's Gavin Resch on the wing for the Ravens. Shaver defended by Burgesson. Shaver cleaning up his own missed effort and laying that in with the right hand. Foul called on the floor as it's Mark Packelbar with the ball for the Gaels. And that foul will be assessed to the Ravens number 10, Connor Wood. Mabity with the ball now for the Gaels. Working it around the perimeter, looking inside. No one appears to be there for the Gaels. And Mabity is fouled by Pierre Charles on his way to the hoop. 1 minute, 17 seconds left to play here in Kingston. As we mentioned, that's Mabity at the line for the Gaels. Pierre Charles with the ball now, being defended by Patrick Street. And that's Gavin Resch going up strong with the right hand. Fouled by the Gaels number 8, Bernard Burgesson. That appears to be Bernard's 5th foul of the game. And with that 5th foul, there will be a brief substitution timeout on the floor, as Bernard Burgesson will check out of the game. And replacing him will be number 15, John Lenz. Mark Packelbar with the ball. Finding John Lenz on the slip screen, kicks it out to Andrew Mabity for 3. Andrew Mabity nailing that shot from downtown. So good. Mark Paclabar pushing the ball for the Gaels, finding Mavety. Mavety looking for another three-point shot. Decides to kick it out to Patrick Street. Can't get that shot to fall. First-year forward out of Toronto, Ontario. Ball being moved around by the Ravens. Gavin Resch having that ball stolen away by Mark Paclabar. 9 seconds left on the game clock. Mavety finding James Asefa. James Asefa driving in the hole, kicking it out. And Paclabar can't get a shot off as at the conclusion of this game, the Carleton Ravens defeat the Queens Gaels 99-57. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us on QTV Live for this men's OUA basketball competition between the Queens Gaels and the visiting Carleton Ravens. From the Queens University Athletics and Recreation Center, I'm Justin Baronitis signing off for QTV. Thank you very much. Enjoy your evening.